How to close your sales letter. You write a sales letter that converts by writing as if you're having a conversation with someone you care about. You write in your unique voice. And, of course, this combines with everything else you have. For example, if someone looks me up in the search engine, or they decide to buy my book first, they find out something about me. They want to sample what Sean does, and it's pretty easy to go online and find other people talking about me, find other people that are willing to share a copy of something that I've created. Or, it's really easy to go over to Amazon and buy the book, and read it, and they go, wow. Now I really trust Sean. I've read some of the articles that have his name on it. Articles that he's responsible for. Say that you've looked me up and seen these things, then you come back and read the sales letter a week later. I still don't have to beg, borrow, or steal, or anything like that to twist your arm to get you to buy. Because I'm a real person, and you trust me. Not just because I've written a sales letter. But, because you have learned about me in the context of the entire web, there's a trust there, because of the articles, because of the audios, because of the book. The sales letter simply wraps that up. I don't even have to get fancy at the end of the sales letter. I could say something as simple as, here's the thing, if you want to change your life by adding a coaching program, I recommend that you get my training. Here's how it's delivered. Now the truth of the matter is, this could be worth X, Y, Z to the right person. Just based on what someone could do with it. But for right now, I'm marketing this at this particular price. I don't know how long I can keep it at this price. Maybe I don't want the world to be saturated with this information. I don't know how long I can keep it at this price. But, if you want to change your life, the price isn't the issue here, whether it's $100, $200, $1,000, $10,000, if you can afford it, price isn't really the issue here. The issue is that you trust me. You've read my book. You've read my articles. You've listened to some of my audios. You've read my sales letter. You trust me. Do you want to change your life with a coaching program? If so, invest in my training. You'll probably clean that up, but that's an example close for a letter written in this conversational style. What I've just shared with you really summarizes how easy it can be for somebody to write copy on their own as an ordinary person. There's a place for all those fancy copywriting courses. I believe that there's a place for it for somebody that says, I've done all of this, but maybe I want to get better. I want to learn a few lines that will beef up the letter. Or, I'm natural at this, and I can do that coffee shop conversation, but then when I go to write it, I get a blank in my mind. Then you go buy the copywriting course from a super duper copywriter and you'll learn the 17 areas he says to tweak. But don't just try to copy and paste all their information. You learn the beginning, the middle, the end of the sales letter, but then you go back this idea of having a conversation at a coffee shop and writing the entire letter as if it's a conversation. Use that as your basis and use the copywriting course to help improve upon that, not as a dry formula that lacks voice. If you're really struggling on how to write and you just stare at a blank page on your screen, maybe you do need to jump right into a copywriting course. Along with that, though, I would say to buy some books on communication. Even if someone is not married, a book about communicating with your spouse would be a great book for learning how to communicate with anybody. A book about communicating in a business environment would be a great book for anybody who wants to learn how to communicate with their spouse. Why? Because communication is communication is communication. If someone were to go out there and buy 10 books on communication, one on communicating with your children, one on communicating with your wife, one on communicating with your husband, one on communicating with your prospects, one on communicating with your clients, one on sales communication, buy all of those and read them all, and study them, and then begin to practice this in your everyday life. Not just when you're writing copy. I believe you'll find your copywriting will just soar. And it'll go to the next level, because it'll become so much more personable. You will connect with your prospects in a very real, very personal way.